Yeah, this is, like you said, this is going to set the tone, and I think the operator bans here are really going to set that tone. Fnatic first to ban, though, on the attack. This should be interesting to see what's going to go out. Could be a Glass. No, it's going to be a Blackbeard. Very typical ban here. No surprise at all.
Especially on console, with all the window and repel play that is necessary.
Especially against Retro as well.
Yes.
So it's definitely a good initial ban there by Reciprocity. This is where we could see Dokkaebi or Yin go out. Yep, definitely. Those are the two bans that Reciprocity's pulled out in the past on this map. They do not want to deal with Dokkaebi. Those phone calls plus the smokes is a good reason to ban that.
Yeah, and it's just another good point to bring out that there's not necessarily a Glaz main on either one of these teams that I can think of. So while Glaz is still left in the pool, it'll be up to them to kind of work on the fly whether or not they want to crack that open.
Yeah, it's more likely to be like a garage kind of play or something like that. Whereas I think now we could see potentially Retro on either Jackal or Capitao are the ones who'll play, but now Maestro is going to be in play, and that should make attacking the actual site a bit more of a problem for teams that are really going to have to do what they can to shut it down. But it also means leaving soft destructors available. It means if you're going to bring Zofia, you need to make sure to actually manage your resources to be able to take out those evil eyes. Same with if they're going to bring Ashe instead. You really got to be smart about that, because if you cannot take out an evil eye, good luck planting in smoke, which they're definitely preparing for with that Jackal. So we're going to start on console upstairs here first.
Yeah, attacking upstairs, and like you said, there's no Zofia coming out right now, although you do have Fox rocking nades on the sledge to at least try and get rid of these evil eyes, and Lusty with a 6-pick from an Ella to an alibi. He's going to stick that. Okay.
All right. Well, this definitely should be interesting. They're gonna. The nice thing is Jackal will help a little bit with alibi in the sense that you will kind of know which one of those is actually real or not without having to drone it first. But looks like we're just gonna watch the players for a second. There we go. Get into the game. Oh, nice.
One more beauty shot of them before we head back to the game.
We want to see what their faces look like getting into this.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the things with this tournament is that it is so crucial to start very hot. Yeah, like we said, it's a double elimination bracket in the group stage. You lose one game, you got to go flawless for the rest.
The upside is if you're in the losers bracket, you get a chance to kind of review the VOD of the team that you're up against.
Yep.
So you do get a better chance to prepare for what strats they are going to bring and potentially play the same maps. Maestros are getting creative, much like Valkyries, where they're just trying to find newer and more useful spots, but vertical is definitely important because you don't want to make it easy for anyone to take those out with grenades, so placing them as high as possible definitely helpful. And Fox has been playing a ton of sledge, so not surprising to see them do that, and that's going to bring those grenades for the team. But he plays a very sort of a long flank role on that sledge very often on this map. He'll go on from a far angle a bit late in the round, most often the spiral stairs, and this is what we see Retro doing. He almost always plays these windows, whether he be on Capitao, Blackbeard, or Jackal. It's interesting to see a Jackal player that is willing to just hang on a window. I mean, you're so used to seeing Jackal players trying to kind of go in as a second entry to get some kind of footprints, but for whatever reason, Retro feels very comfortable hanging out on this window as Jackal, and unlike Joystick, he's able to stay alive for a long period of time as long as they make sure the runouts don't hit him. So, all right, Maestro already looking for an angle there. Capitao, Firebolt's coming out, trying to see if they could clear out Yellow Stairs, but guess what? No one there. So actually working out okay for them. That is going to burn one of Skies' Firebolts at least. Should have some smoke left, but it's nice they have double smoke because they have both Skies and Retro able to bring those smokes.
Back underway, still in a 5v5, and the last Toxic Bait will be used for Magnet and have to rip down the stairs. Shotgun in hand, but no one pressuring from below, but raiding terror from above, and the yellow skylight will be Fox. Had to grab the first pick of the Invitational, at least on our side. Not sure if the other game already had one or not, but I'd like to think so.
Knowing Latin America, they're probably all dead already.
There you go. That's also the smoke too, and Magnet had already used all of his utility, so the crucial linchpin in the hold on top of Yellow Stairs being disabled, and now Skies will slowly make his way up. But Lusty will immediately trade out Mark, and that's your breach. Not the most necessary operator top floor.
They're going to be set up. They're still going to have double sets of smokes potentially, and now they don't have any smoke to counter it. So they're actually in a very good position to plant, but that's going to mean the Evil Eyes and the goo mines are going to be critical here for defenders.
Well, as typical with Reciprocity, they get off to a hot start, and there goes Lusty taking a lot of damage from Skies at the top of Yellow Stairs on that Capitao, and he'll fashion himself a vault hole back through Flag, and bathroom control now from Skies as he darts back and forth, avoiding the hailstorm of bullets coming out of the MX4 Storm, and now Virtue on a flank down below with Rizraz, so double flank towards Yellow Stairs as the rest of the Reciprocity attack descends from bathroom and the Yellow Stairs windows.
Yeah, this is an interesting attack approach here. It looks like the defuse is getting planted by Retro, but he gets killed off of it. Unfortunate for him. Rizraz on a roll.
Rizraz with 2, trying to go for 3, and he'll land it. Lusty will clean it up, and Fnatic will take round number 1 on the defense. Beautiful double flank from Yellow Stairs from Rizraz and Virtue, and a great holdout there from Fnatic, applying a little bit of pressure and buffing back the aggression of Reciprocity to allow them to stall out, regroup, and make their way back up the Yellow Stairs. So a good start for Fnatic on round number 1.
Yeah, definitely down to timing there at the end. They maybe peaked and played a little bit more aggressive than they needed to, especially the smoke kind of getting himself killed on the stairs. But at the end of the day, they waited for the plant attempt to come down from Retro. Pretty much as expected. He's playing a smoke operator. He's going to be going for that smoke plant inside. And they were just ready to pounce on it. And that's all they needed. Good timing. Good on Lusty as well for getting away when he did. That was an interesting vault into the room.
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest one in the world. He literally had to continue building himself a rotate.
Yeah. Let me set this up. Hold on, guys. Can you stop attacking for a moment? I'm very low on health, okay?
Wasn't quite ready yet, but we head back downstairs to the garage now for our first defense downstairs. Magnet sticking the Ela this time, and Lusty sticking the Alibi.
They're going to bring both.
A lot of 3-speed roaming potential. You've also got Rizraz with the mute shotgun SMG setup, the more popular setup nowadays, as the SMG-11 was added into mute's utility pool.
Well, they are going to have the Thatcher, and then Sky's now on Buck instead of Capitao. This is something he's been playing a lot. He'll be the one usually to go in, open up the floor inside piano in the hallway in front of the bathroom to get that set up as much as possible. But will they hold into the bathroom is the question. How long will they hold that off? Because the longer you can hold that bathroom, the more likely you can actually stop the attack, even though it is not the site. It's very important.
Well, another heavy gas station spawn coming out from Reciprocity as they attack an entirely alternate objective, but same kind of mentality coming out, and it's the individualistic nature of Reciprocity that makes them so dangerous. They rely on their individual star power, and it's hard to say they don't have it in spades, their fragging ability.
Communication there, right? So that way, if they manage to lose those fights, the communication leads to a trade.
It's interesting to see how they cordon off large portions of the map and gain extreme amounts of real estate individually. They drone for themselves like Foxay is doing here, trying to drone his own entryway into admin. The entirety of the team relies on that kind of individual play, and also they trust in each other as one panel's been opened up.
Yeah, that was quick. Mark got that open right away. Just there was nothing really to deny it outside of a mute, so not a whole lot that's going to happen to stop that. But this is efficiency coming out. Fox is very good at taking the top floor quickly, like you said, that an individual power. He's able to do that very efficiently. It seems like something that is very comfortable for him to do. He's going to take out one of the alibi prismas as well, just to make it easier to deal with the actual execute. They could even potentially go for plant in there if they need to, but both panels open here, and a minute 45 left. They're in a great position here, especially if Retro doesn't die before he can get those smokes off.
You can see Rizraz playing shotgun point blank on the ledge behind White, and more EMPs come flying into the base of garage in between Black car and White van. It's a 3-man stack for Reciprocity outside the garage. I think they're waiting for Foxay to initiate a back flank, but here come both smokes and lining straight up his Virtue, taking a lot of damage and not dealing enough. The plant going down from Mark, and a 2K for Reciprocity come out in tandem. Mark had to get off the plant, but will reattempt now as Foxay is making his way down Locker's hallway. Plant again not completed, a 3rd attempt for the plant now coming out from Mark as Foxay is holding the back, but Magnet from above with the FO12 will shut it down on the 3rd try. It won't be the charm. Skies will retreat back up Yellow Stairs to trade that out. Now it's up to Rizraz holding down behind White and Aces to return to the objective. Darting back and forth on either side. Laxing going for a plant attempt. A frag grenade lands on the backside of Rizraz. Pushing straight up. 2 seconds left and he'll down it off. The diffuser lost again at the bottom of White truck. A flank coming in from Foxay in through kitchen, holding off the rotate, and it's a 1v2 for Rizraz. 40 seconds, taking a little bit of damage to the backside as they all hit the deck. Frag grenades come flying. Skies pressing right up with a pistol in hand, and Reciprocity will level things early. A 1-1 scoreline. It's multiple attempts at that plant in front of White Van, but just not enough manpower on site, being picked off one by one for Fnatic. A good flank by Magnet, but it wasn't enough in the end.
Well, the important thing was they did the plant attempt so early, they could bait out fights. Every single time they would lose the planter, they would trade it. And because they kept a man advantage at the end, they were able to turn that into a win because there was just so many people left for Rizraz to fight. But it was a great attempt by Fnatic. You saw, thanks to the new awesome spectator UI, actually showing us when the plant's going down, how many times they attempted it. You also could hear him baiting out the C4s. Mark would go for a plant, the C4 would come out, he would move off of it. Great, but they had so much time left to work with on that. It It was unfortunate they lost control of Piano, but because Skies immediately traded that back, got control of it again, and of course he was Buck, so he could even open more of the floor and pressure behind White Van. Just overall, very efficient execute by Reciprocity, and that's why they won that. They just had the time to work with. And I gotta give props to Fnatic, though, for being very good at stopping the plant attempts from either Retro or Mark. They're very good at lashing out exactly when they need to stop the plant. And some of that's just not great coverage by Reciprocity of the actual plant going down. They're great at actually getting the kills off the kill on the planter. But if they start slowing down these executes, I'm afraid Fnatic's gonna be able to take a lot of these rounds just off of stopping the plant long enough.
One of the biggest things for me on that round was Virtue as the Jaeger playing White Pipes. Had two members of Reciprocity lined up for him, unaware of his presence. It was a reactionary shot from, I believe, Laxing outside of Garage that really saved the round for Reciprocity. Virtue, if he lined up both kills there, it was over. It would have been a 5v3 trying to storm into the Garage with one man left. Virtue possibly could have been the saving grace for Fnatic on that round, but they'll reattempt the basement once again, back down to the Garage, and the same droning pathing coming out for Foxay upstairs, and I imagine Reciprocity's game plan will mirror last round.
Yeah, I gotta say though, this is definitely looking like the close matchup we were expecting it to be so far. I mean, this is Reciprocity's map, so they are expected to come out ahead on it just because they're so good on it. But like I said, both teams have a good record on it. But I gotta say, this is a good record for Reciprocity in what is arguably a more competitive environment. So they should have a potential advantage taking this, but the attack is a bit harder. Nice drone work coming out, though, catching someone else on cams. And again, super efficient here. If they could just maintain better control around to support the planter, this could easily go Reciprocity's way.
A minute in, not even really, and both panels in the Garage are opened up by Mark. You've got a double stack.
Like Bandit's banned either.
No, they're just opting to run the mute with the shotgun and the SMG-11. And once again, Foxay makes his way down the Visa stairs, trying to corral any possible flanks up the Visa stairs, but it was Magnet who again 6-picked to the Ella. I'm not sure if he's rocking the shotgun again or not, but he's been droned out. It is the shotty, the FO-12. Yellow stairs on the mid-tier by Vending Machine, and he'll rip all the way back down as he hears the telltale signs of that skeleton key from Skies from above. You've also got Foxay, who could have been holding a pinch by Spiral Stairs, and they could have immediately eliminated Magnet's possible return to the objective, but it looks like he's made it off safe. And with 80 seconds left in the round, they're still trying to find Magnet. Reciprocity stalled out momentarily. It
does seem like they're being a lot more careful, though, in terms of making sure that Magnet's not able to use that piano to their advantage again, but he's just playing time instead. They are absolutely hunting him, trying to pressure him out, and even the drone from Laxing not catching him immediately is going to give him that extra bit of time. He's also got an ADS in there. He can stall for quite a while before he's got to drop out, maybe even burn some of the grenades, because it's very unlikely for Thatcher to be nearby to take out those gadgets. He's even got to rotate Vault out, which he's going to use now. This is working out very well for Magnet.
Oh, Sky's hopping on drone at the most inopportune time, and Magnet will rip him to shreds. Retro will also fall outside of the Garage, and return fire from above from Foxay won't land enough. Mark is going for the plant, but again, it's Virtue who will actually clean up the kill. Lusty will fall in the process, but a 2v4. Foxay and Laxing on low HP. Foxay just goes flying into Piano. Has no idea. Laxing on 5 HP will try to rush through in the middle of Black Car and White Van, but it'll be to no avail, and quite the stalled out attack there from Reciprocity, just unable to isolate Magnet and make sure that he had no free reign of Consulate, but inopportune timing there for Skies too on Yellow Stairs. Should have been holding that flank out because that was the only possible rotation Magnet had. He could have gone back downstairs to the hatch, and then this hop control would have been completely alleviated.
It just really came down to them. They got top floor control. They were playing it very careful upstairs. But the fact that they couldn't swiftly take the middle floor absolutely worked in Magnet's favor, because you saw them on those drones. They were trying to pressure him out. You saw Laxing's drone come in as well into the bathroom. The fact that they were just trying to drone it instead, they didn't have anyone behind those drones. That was the real problem. Yeah, you can drone him all day long, but if you're not actually executing on that, Magnet gets away free. He gets to rotate out of the bathroom right after you drone him. Like, hey, Laxing, yeah, you found where he's at, but guess what? He's not there anymore. He's jumped out, and now Skies is going to pay the price for that. It just, their lack of ability to take that middle floor. You saw it the second time around, deja vu of Magnet just hitting it from above when Mark's trying to plant. And it's like, those holes are so working against you. Those are the holes that are supposed to be working for you as the attacker.
Well, back upstairs we go. Fnatic 1 for 1 on the objective so far this match, and it's been back and forth between Fnatic and Reciprocity. And I wonder if Ace is going to open this up a little bit more for Lusty, so he doesn't have to manually do it well in the middle of a crossfire. Yeah,
I mentioned they have at least 2 shotguns. You know, his pistol shotgun, and then of course magnets. I always like this deployable shield because fighting that long hallway, especially with the Alda, is really tough for the attackers. You throw a shield in there, it becomes so much more difficult. And we saw what the Alibi was doing last round with the hiding behind a shield with a Prisma. So any time they took shots at him behind that deployable shield, they were likely marking themselves. And you saw in that kill feed him pop up behind that. And I think they're likely to do something similar again this round.
One of my biggest concerns here for Reciprocity is attacking rounds upstairs. We've only seen 2 of them, well, 1 and a 5th right now. But no breach this time around, a Thermite last time. Obviously the Thermite is just preparing yourself in case they go garage. The biggest problem for me is that there's no Hibana coming out, which is the perfect sign that they have no hope in hell of going for an admin
It means
sig.
Too much focus on yellow stairs.
Yep.
But they have the Capitao and the Buck this time, which means they have 2 sets of grenades from both the Buck and the Sledge, plus the Capitao, plus Thatcher. They have a lot of utility to take control of these yellow stairs. The question is, once they get control of the top of that, can they execute from there?
The next biggest question is, are they going to be able to isolate Magnet? Because he's in hello? Where are you going, Lusty?
Hello? Well, at least he's not marked who he is, right?
What? Okay, Lusty, that was ambitious, to say the least.
Yeah.
Not going to work out. No one on Reciprocity even takes a single point of damage, and now Magnet's only cover for anyone repelling on the bathroom windows. A frag grenade comes flying in, bouncing off the wall, and will only graze him on his side. Holding firm on the window as the flashbangs come raining in, another frag grenade to push him out of his position into the stall, and he's evading bullets like Neo in the Matrix right now, dropping his last Toxic Babe onto the yellow stairs, but he's killed half the round so far in this bathroom.
But I thought Neo is the 6th now. He's not playing today.
I love the dad joke.
Those drones just, Magnet is just eating them up, and the grenades and the Capitao bolt still alive through this. So much utility burned. Still though, Fox does come out on top. Pretty much you don't want to fight Fox on these stairs. He seems to be winning a lot of those engagements.
Well, while the time has not been on the side of Reciprocity, their health advantage and now the mana advantage certainly on their backside now. 5v3, and Skies is going to run clean into the rotative bathroom as the drones come in. Lots of spray coming from the top of yellow stairs. The smokes come out to disrupt the visibility of Aces, but he still has a peek hole on his left-hand rotation. Oh, and they're reading that perfectly, waiting for him to come in for the peek. Ace is dodging narrowly. The plant being attempted, and Retro with beautiful cover. The plant will go down here. It'll be up to Virtue and Rizraz trying to retake both stacked inside of Connector. And there goes Rizraz on the floor. Another repel in. Virtue will grab one, but it'll all be in vain as Skies and Retro will clean it up. And Reciprocity again will draw even at a 2-2 scoreline. A very stalled out attack that then turns successful.
Yeah, it just came down to the fact that they were able to deny that Maestro. He could not move anywhere. He missed that shot on Skies as well, running up the yellow stairs. And of course, that rotate in the bathroom didn't work against him. We've seen in the past, once Skies gets control of bathroom, it tends to be over for the defenders because of that crossfire and also the denial coming from Retro in the window. Completely cut off his rotate. You saw, as you mentioned, them reading into that hole that he had, the peak hole. Yeah, they didn't land a headshot on it, but they got so close to just straight up killing him right there. But denying his ability to peek out as well to try and counter it. He did try and go for that peek, immediately got punished for it. Just lack of rotations. They only had 2 angles to play. Skies had the cross. All he could do was pressure that hole. Plant went down, and it was pretty much over from there. Just overall, a great execute by Reciprocity that time. Once they got control of those yellow stairs, I mean, it did cost them a lot of utility to get those yellow stairs, though. But at least they were prepared to do that.
It looks like the investment into the war over yellow stairs won't be coming out this time around, at least from Fnatic's side, as Magnet has swapped off the smoke and gone to a pulse, leading me to believe that he wants to play the verticality and stealth game a little bit more than the in-your-face, I've got a shotgun, come peek me on yellow stairs.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you know they're going for smoke plants, right?
Yep.
That's the thing. They've got the Capitao and the Jackal, and you have at least the ability to see through the smoke, potentially with the Evil Eyes, but the smoke itself is usually the counter to that, right? You throw toxic gas in there, you get the kill. But in this case, they're going to play the vertical game by trying to do the same kind of denial of smoke plants, but from below. And I think that's the right choice, because you saw, like I was saying last time, you could not peek that. So why peek it then? Just be below. But if they take control of Piano and deny Pulse from playing in there, the plant should be a lot easier.
Once again, the Thermite coming out from Mark, and I can't...
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
I can't really support that. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting one too.
Yeah, apparently Thermite has
ADSs
now. That's good for him. That is smart to have.
Not bad. But yeah, the Thermite in general, the utility doesn't really make a lot of sense to me here when you should be aware that you're going to be attacking top floor again.
Yeah.
It was the swifter and more decisive round.
Yeah, well, you know they can't go back to Garage yet.
True.
So
they wanted to head lobby.
Yeah, it is an interesting choice. Like, it's not even that useful in lobby. Habana, I would say, arguably is more useful in lobby to be able to open up the bathroom. Well, either way, though, Mark is very good on Thermite, even if he's not playing it for the utility necessarily. And Retro's still doing his thing up here. He seems to never get punished for it. It's just, Retro is like the master of this window. He could probably do it on Recruit. Like, it just does not matter. I mean, that being said, though, the C7E is a very nice gun. So, it doesn't surprise me he's at least effective with that. But I guess when you've spent all of your time as Blackbeard peeking these angles, you know the angles very well.
Well, it looks like Reciprocity have also read into the fact that Yellow Stairs control isn't there this time around.
Yeah.
It's Magnet on the bottom of Yellow Stairs right now.
He wants to be there. He doesn't want to give up those stairs completely.
But he's doing a good job of evading the drones. You can see Skies' drones just barely missing him by vending machine on the midst of Yellow Stairs, and another one directly above him. Looks like it's Skies as well on the Capitao, who's top yellow, and there goes the first pick for Laxing with the AR-33 coming up Yellow Stairs on the flank, but Magnet missing his initial shots. He'll finally land the headshot on Skies, but on 2 HP remaining. There's a man inside of the bathroom as well for Reciprocity that Magnet needs to be aware of. All it would take is one flip of the cardiac sensor.
Does he actually, am I reading that right? Does he actually have barbed wire instead of C4? I'm hoping that's the glitch that we saw with Thermite, but that seems like an odd choice. I mean, yes, you can use your gun through the floor. You're not completely defenseless, but his main strength here was that C4, potentially. Being on such low health, this is risky and completely punished for it.
Ooh, the Legion Mine able to stall out Marks and tries to rip it out immediately on the rappel, so Virtue will down the diffuser inside, but now Magnet is gone from his Yellow Stairs position. A lot of alibi holograms being tagged here from members on Reciprocity, and with 3v3 with 30 seconds left, the diffuser inside of console. They've now recovered it on a rappel in from Retro, battling back and forth, and a flank coming from Laxing. Fox will shut down Virtue and Connector. The Legion Mine giving away the location. An attempted plant from Retro, not coming out just yet. Ooh, and he misses the leg of Aces laying prone. Is currently using his Evil Eye, zapping away. The ping's coming out on the plant. Rizraz will flank in, but no, he's aiming at the feet and can't land the shots. Ooh, Retro's on very low HP. He's able to down him with the diffuser. There's 7 seconds left. They have to recover this and get the plant underway. Fox planting now, and now Aces will stand up, lights up Laxing. It's just Fox left, sticking the plant. He's got the calls, but this could be a perfect revive opportunity. Calling that Aces is too far away, so Laxing will pick up Retro, and it'll be a 1v2 with 100 HP to work out of. We've seen a clutch like this in Paris out of Aces. Can he pull it out again on Consulate in Montreal? He'll rip through Retro, 1v1, and he'll fall through the hatch. Fox left alive, halfway on the timer remaining as he whips his way back up Skylight Circle Stairs. Aiming in towards Connector, the current position for Fox. He's lost the Evil Eye, so no more information. Turning the corner slowly, it'll have to go now. Prone behind the couches, Fox will clutch it up, and Reciprocity will take a crucial and pivotal round number 5.
Maestro, absolutely important to that, but Fox reading into the way the flank was going to come out, it's unfortunate. I mean, Fox is always using the spiral stairs to be able to go for those flanks. Laxing was actually the one to try and do it that round, but he reads into that. He knows that that's coming. It was a nice attempt. The drop was definitely going to slow him down, though. Because he dropped and he's a slow 1 speed, that forces him to have to push more aggressively and less cautiously because he's only got so much time to stop that defuse. So that was an unfortunate situation to me, but man, he made good work with that Evil Eye, downing Retro because he went for the plant once, had to get off of it. Normally, you're not going to get downed on a plant by the Evil Eye, but because he had to do it twice, that was all he needed. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't Fox wasn't softened up enough on the plant to stop that. So it was a tough spot to be in, but we were talking earlier about Glaz. No one necessarily having a Glaz they want to play, but they're absolutely going to bring it out this time against the Doc too. So we're going to see some definite peak battles here. I'm curious where Sky's going to use that. Is he going to be playing it on the window, or is he going to be playing some other interesting angles? But you mentioned earlier about always taking Yellow Stairs. They have yet to go for an admin take.
Yeah, still refusing to go for the admin take. It'll be the last attacking round in regulation for Team Reciprocity. And just a reminder for anyone out there who's confused about the format, these are best of 3 games with overtime. There is no possibility of a draw at all in any of the games this week at the Invitational. Ace is still setting up his deployable shield that you like to be able to peek the hallway, but at this point, I think if you're Fnatic, you got to read in. They're not going for an admin take. Yeah, they love their smoke plants in the big window, or the B windows.
That shield is not really doing a whole lot for them, unfortunately. So, Skies hasn't been a huge impact player in a lot of these rounds, but maybe this will be the round where he does impact a lot with this Glaz play. I got to imagine we're still going to see Retro on that window, though. It's gonna be interesting to see. I want to see what Virtue's gonna pull out on that dock, because he's been playing a lot of Jaeger. But if he's such a high fragger like we've been hearing about, the dock should really bring it out for them, because you see that with players like Kanto that are just top fraggers tend to either excel with the long ACOG plays or the Jaeger plays more often than not, but just the Jaeger hasn't been doing a ton for him.
I imagine what will happen here for the Reciprocity attack is they'll swap out Skies and Retro for positioning. Skies will join Mark on the B windows, and Retro will hold flank on yellow stairs and try and apply a little pressure from the top. And once again, Reciprocity slow in their first minute, just setting up, no one entering the building, because they have no intention of entering the building at any point in the game, really, until they have to go for a plant. It's a very interesting way to play console on the attack when you have the possibility of having so much more control.
This is one of the few maps you can really win from the outside.
Well, there goes the first Toxic Babe from Magnet. Again, towards yellow stairs, but he's not actually playing on the yellow stairs this time around. He's backed off and playing a little bit safer.
Sky's looking like he actually could be going for the balcony rappel here to try and put some pressure on Projector, but he's so concerned about all these windows. I feel like he's not really getting a chance to be effective here, because he's spending most of his time rotating outside and just peeking in the windows. This is really going to come down to a player like Fox to play, but nope, Retro is down, so that additional position he was trying to play not working out. Now Skies needs to be extra effective on that window that normally Retro plays. But Magnet, again, being allowed to just kind of run around and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, for some reason, Magnet is dropping down. I believe it was the Cubby hatch inside of B-Bomb, inside of console, and then just came through Piano and ripped through Retro with one shotgun blast point-blank range. So there go two of your smokes. There goes your ability to jackal ping any possible roamers, which will be Rizraz and Magnet currently, and Magnet will make his way back to site with ease. But 50 seconds left, triggering some Legion Mines, and Skies will see just the barely visible fluorescent pixel of Lusty's face peeking through a bullet hole, and it will be enough to end his possibility of causing any havoc and delaying out the rest of the plant. Foxay has now been downed, and it's a technical 4v4 with 30 seconds left.
It's definitely looking good, though. I mean, Skies is able to put so much pressure on that window. It's going to come down to the roamers like Rizraz to try and even get back to site, because if a plant comes down from Mark here, especially now that Laxon gets the kill, a double for him, it is all on Aces to hold this off till Rizraz can get back up, but he's got to fight a glass.
Well, he tried to run out towards the B window. Shooting the drone will give away his position, and Laxing from the top of yellow stairs will require his third kill. So it's a 1v4, and Aces has no chance. Shredded from the backside on a flank by Foxay with the SMG-11, and that's that constant rotational pressure from Reciprocity. So fluid on their positioning, and Foxay goes all the way from the basement to come up and clean up the final kill of the first half, and that'll be Reciprocity taking the first half, as you said, 4-2 on Consulate.
I mean, it's such a good map for them. Even though the rounds that they didn't win, they were still looking very strong. It was just down to especially Magnet being allowed to do what he wants. So I'm curious to see how he's going to play his attacks, because they're really going to need to put a lot of pressure on the roamers especially, and just kind of push them back to site so they can get fights there. So that way, once they start winning some of those fights, potentially, they can actually set up for a plant. Because if they spend their whole time hunting the roamers, you saw what happened when Reciprocity tried to do that with Magnet. They just burned up too much time, and they didn't win any of those fights. So I'm curious, we'll see, for example, takes from admin side. I mean, this is Garage, so they don't necessarily need to take that side, but when it gets to console side, maybe we will see Fnatic wanting to do that, but actually Bandit coming out here for the first time on Garage, which is interesting to say. We've definitely seen such a meta shift with Mute especially.
One of the most shocking things about Reciprocity's play really is that they have just the most amount of patience for the first 2 minutes of the round when they're attacking.
It's that setup, man. Once they feel confident, the trade kills start coming out pretty much.
Yeah, their patience is unrivaled really when it comes to attacking, at least in the first 2 minutes, and all of a sudden it seems like they have the ability to flip a switch and mow your whole team down, and it's got to be a mental block for Fnatic to get over, thinking that they feel so safe, they feel so protected for the first 2 minutes, the first 2/3 of a round.
To be fair, we've seen some of that come back from Fnatic as well. Sometimes when they're playing very patient towards the end of the round, they can execute against the plant, and that's worked out as well, because they're not giving up as many kills to Reciprocity in that position you're talking about. But it's not Vitality style play where it's executed in the last 10 seconds. It's executed in the last minute still. Like you said, that first 2 minutes, they're really setting that up. trying to get a lot of good intel, but the big weakness is they weren't necessarily always executing right behind that intel. We'll see if we see Virtue doing that. He's going to be playing the aggressive Ash, so they are going to go for that admin take here, it looks like, just to clear this top floor, but he's making sure it's safe below. He was expecting that pulse that got 6 picked off to a bandit, so he doesn't know yet that he doesn't have to worry about below him right there.
Well, an admin side overtake.
I mean, hopefully they go to try and do the same thing on console, because I'd like to see how they execute on that.
Well, Virtue fulfilling the mantle on Ash for his first attacking round. He'll trigger the first Legion mine laid by Foxe as a trap into the copy hallway. And continue the droning. It's slow going here for Fnatic as well on their immediate entry, but it looks like instead of playing from the outside of the building towards the inside on their plant execute, it seems like most of Fnatic are well aware that map control will be crucial against a team like Reciprocity that has roaming game on console down like the back of their hand.
Well, big difference too is they're not bringing the Thatcher Thermite combo that we saw coming out from Laxing and Mark. They was able to open up the garage door pretty much right away, and that was a huge difference because guess what? They're stalling out now. It's already been a minute and a half. They don't have the garage door open. They might even have to go for a cafeteria push because they don't have the utility to do a lot else. Yeah, they have the Habana, but that doesn't do any good if you can't take out the batteries. And Lusty is just now heading towards Piano with Rizrez. I mean, at least they can open the floor with his ITA, and they are kind of bunching up here. At least, I guess they're probably happy they don't have to deal with the pulse on that. But it is slow going here.
You can see Lusty saw Mark on his cams inside of the office, so I'm sure that was an interesting sight to see and thinking maybe he could bang it, but it's an indestructible floor and a reinforced hatch. And here comes a flank coming out from Foxe now, just creeping his way up from the basement, up yellow stairs, makes it to vending machine. His Laxing will get droned out in the depths of archives and head towards the walk-in closet. That is something I didn't realize was gone in the spectator. The compass is gone.
Interesting. So I'm just hopelessly directionless now.
Yeah, we got nothing, but there comes the flank. Rexing, I think that was actually Laxing through the hatch down below. It was, and he'll descend even deeper into the backs of archives. He's got 5 HP.
That's all he needs.
Comes away with it.
He's still a 3 speed. He can still get away. He could even go for a reset if he wanted, but I don't think he needs to. He's holding his position tight, and they've got man advantage, 20 seconds left.
No time, really, for Fnatic to try and go for the execute. Laxing is still waiting in the back to pounce upon anyone going for a Walker's hallway push. I don't think Fnatic's even on the same floor as the objective right now. The flashes come raining in from above, but dropping the hatch in complete vain as Virtual will be shredded to bits. Magnet will trade out one, but Sky's in the shotgun. Point blank onto Aces. Up in the rafters is Retro.
Wow.
Gun between his legs and lights up Magnet, shreds him in the office hallway, and there's just not a lot to be had there for Fnatic. Last second desperation attempt on the push, and that's going to spread the gap even further, and you can see them laughing about it. Retro having a good time up top, hanging out like a monkey in the tree.
Well, we've seen that position played a bit where it's actually pretty effective, but you saw the hole at the top of the wall as well. Gives them the ability to peek towards the yellow stairs as they're rotating around from a much safer position, as well as to be able to peek towards the garage door if they come in from more of the Pipes yellow stairs side. Well, here's that console play here, so we'll see how the Fnatic execute goes on it, but they're dangerously close to map point here.
The lead is spreading further and further now. It was back and forth in the first portion of the game, but it seems like Reciprocity have truly hit their stride, and Fnatic at the same time have fallen off. That kind of upbeat tempo they tried to bring on their defenses earlier on, just not really sticking out in that entire meeting room table.
I like that. Yeah, he opens up the table, sticks the Evil Eye there, and then is able to see that. And that is honestly, that is the beauty of this game, is the ability to just remodel the map the way you want to. And that is why the meta is ever shifting. So people figure out new ways to remodel the map. We throw in new operators. I don't know, it's just always so interesting what people will do with that.
10 seconds
and
remaining.
you saw an example of that right there.
See Foxe with his rather effective yet not really aesthetically pleasing UMP setup. Red dot, angle grip, extended barrel. It does work actually surprisingly well.
Yeah,
it is a
skin as well.
It's a functional setup. It's just not a very form factor catering setup. We'll say that much.
I mean, as long as you feel comfortable with the way you've got it set up, that's what matters, because it is not the strongest weapon in the game, but it is a very reliable weapon if you're comfortable with it. He's definitely played a lot of Pulse, so I expect him to be comfortable with that.
Once again, Fnatic stacking for an admin side take, and Virtue is already in as that entry on the Ash. Pressing over, and there's no contention coming out from Reciprocity. It seems like they're playing a defense that would work quite well against their own attacks.
That's typical.
They're planning and game planning for a yellow stairs take with the B windows, and Fnatic have clearly no intentions of doing so, bringing the Hibana to get the long desk wall in towards A popped open. But you can see the entire desk has been shredded. I imagine there's an evil eye at the end of that hallway from Mark, ready to zap off some X-Kairos as soon as they get deployed.
Yeah, this definitely, the Maestro has obviously been a big problem for teams on a lot of these attacks, but at the same time, it's also been shut down sometimes by Reciprocity. Ooh, they peek through the drone hole.
That is
Fox.
an old one.
They're really playing this downstairs. You saw Laxing in that closet last time. Fox playing the drone holes. They are very comfortable in the basement, and it is working out because no one's going to come down to the basement to punish them because they're so focused on the admin top floor horizontal take. Fox is going to be given free reign despite being jackal pinged. Yeah, they know he's down there, but Rizraz is not going to be able to pull off this execute. Let's be realistic. Fox has more real-time information, and Laxing has already killed their entry fragger.
There goes the entry of Virtue falling, I believe, by the bathroom hallway, question mark? Not sure where he died, but Rizraz as well in that one-on-one battle with Foxay right now. And like you said, Rizraz isn't going to be able to push in and clean that up by himself, and Laxing will claim another victim as Magnet will fall, and that's your Ash and your Buck, so a lot of your soft destruction is gone. On your middle floor clear, you haven't even opened up anything to dissuade Anchors from playing in stronger positions, and now with a minute remaining to evade match point, it's a bad look here as you're still dealing with Foxay down below. You still have Laxing down below inside of Piano Hallway in the bathroom hallway. 50 seconds tick away, and it's Aces and Rizraz right now trying to initiate the push from the Visa Stair side.
They're so stalled out at this point. They have Capitao to provide some extra utility here to be able to smoke, be able to put some fire to cut it off. Now they're going to try and go for this execute, but too many missed shots costing them.
Losing the gunfights, Laxing with a 3K on the round. It's all Aces now, and a 1v5 walks straight into connector and evades a knife and will down Retro. Oh my lord, Retro trying to do it with some style points, but Mark will clean it up and be the saving grace there for Reciprocity. Match point on map number 1 for Rec, up 6-2 currently on Consulate.
The nice shot, Mark.
Oh no, let's not do this again where we pull out the Troy, nice shot Troy.
Yeah.
At least they're not complimenting themselves yet.
I've seen Skies do that, just the nice shot for himself. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. First lobby coming out, actually. We hadn't seen lobby at all on the other side. Looks like we're getting a timeout as well coming out from Magnet there. So obviously, map point is a good time to do that because you want to make sure you do not lose this. They really need to take some time to breathe and think, okay, we tried to push from the admin side. We're still probably going to do that for their console play, but it's not working. We're not taking map control. We're not taking the bottom floor, so Fox is able to do whatever he wants down there. We're not really taking effective control of the top floor because we're losing people trying to push that side and just getting stalled out because they're playing smart defense in connector and bathroom and things like that. We're not pulling anyone out of their positions, we're just walking into them. And that's a big problem for Fnatic right now. They're not doing a good job pinching anyone. They're not taking anyone out. They're not forcing people out of their holes. It's a real problem, I would say, for Fnatic right now, and I hope that's what they're discussing. How do we find some weakness and just pick off one first time? And I would say make it Laxing after that 3K last round.
Same operator lineup coming out for Fnatic right now as it's a do-or-die moment here on map number 1 against Reciprocity, the North American surprise powerhouse. Really, I think that was a shocking revelation, really, for this first portion of the Season 9 was that Reciprocity only making one roster move, dropping Goddess for Skies, all of a sudden have catapulted themselves from the 6th spot at the end of Season 8 to the currently the number 2 spot.
Yeah, and
number 3 spot, sorry.
It's the case where it wasn't necessarily Skies coming in and fragging out or anything like that. It's just they set themselves up with a lot more flexibility in terms of the roles that could be played, and it seems to be working out very well for them. Retro on a nice little peek there. He plays a pretty good Doc, something he's done quite a bit in the past. Or not Doc, I mean Rook. And it didn't get a kill or anything, but it certainly put a scare into them. And that's all you need to slow down the pressure here. Reloading. They are definitely going to be struggling to get some entry here. They need some kills within the first minute and a half, or it's just going to be potentially over for Fnatic.
Well, I mean, Fnatic, you're already on your back foot. You've lost, what, 4 straight now? It was 2-2, and now it's 6-2.
At least they're going to be okay knowing this is Reciprocity's map, so when they go into their map, they could reset. They could be like, okay, that's fine, we lost their map. That's expected. We're going to win ours. But Villa, as we said, potentially could be very big for Reciprocity, so that's not a position you want to be in.
You see Foxay goes for a full map rotation. Was top floor inside of meeting room as the mute, the Shoddy and SMG combo, drops down to circle desk, drops down the circle desk hatch into the basement and gets double droned. This has also been surprising. Virtue on the entry and in a fragging role throughout the entirety of the game, yet he has not had the best one. Granted, Fnatic only picking up 2 rounds so far, even in those initial stages when rounds were going back and forth and it wasn't all on Rack's side, still hasn't been that impact prodigy we've been hearing he is.
Yeah, and both those 2 rounds that they won were mostly due to Magnet's flanks, really.
Yeah.
So Skies, though, a bit low, might even be downed at the moment. Might get picked back up, but he's going to be... Yeah, it is going to be important because you want that pressure from that pulse, but to be fair, at least they still have, technically everyone on the team, he can still provide intel from where he's laying, not to mention cameras once he dies.
Oh.
Nice shot there from Virtue, finally making an impact on this.
Laxing just pulling the trigger a little too early, so Skies is still down or on 1 HP off screen. Mark will fall as well at the hands of Magnet with C8 down to about 25 HP, but the wheelhouse really churning right now for Fnatic as they have top control, they have side control outside of the front door. They're ready to go for their side execute with 60 seconds remaining and not a lot of utility on the side of Reciprocity to stall that out. But Rizraz will fall at the hands of Fox, who's gone for another rotation. Virtue with an immediate trade out, and there he comes heating up. A 2v4. Possibly even a 1v4. Still don't know where Skies is at. He's roaming around elsewhere. It looks like he's standing right now, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Diffuser is going down, though.
Well, he wasn't standing very long. Skies will fall. Plant being completed now by Aces, and there's 3 men waiting for you, Retro, as you try to make it through the bathroom hallway. So staving off elimination on map number 1 will be Fnatic, and we'll get another attempt at the timeout, as last time it didn't...
well, to be fair, it still worked.
Yeah.
In the sense that they won the round. So they were able to do it. Sounds like the timeout might actually be happening this time. Not sure what happened last time, but Fnatic have got to be feeling a little bit better. They were able to save 1 round, and I think that was a very good round for them. It wasn't even necessarily all that close, but that was, I feel like Virtue hurt us. Talking about him not making a huge impact, and he absolutely did that round. His ability to stay alive, put pressure on them, get those kills, especially on Laxing, who has been often a very impact player, but a nice counter trade on that by Fox, hiding in that spot, top of Spiral, was a nice surprise. Like I said, I don't know, it's just something about him and those spiral stairs. They're meant to be.
The big surprise for me is that Fnatic waited until 6-2 to attempt a timeout, and now it's 6-3. They'll actually get their timeout.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked by that because you come out of the half down 4-2 after trading out.
That's when
you've
probably
lost.
should be taking it.
You've lost 2 consecutives. Yeah, so you're either going to take the time out at the half to kind of regroup because you're changing sides and new things need to be discussed, or when you lose that next round, and then it's 5-2. You're on the precipice of the choking point. At that point, you might want to take a timeout as well. I think they've left the timeout a little late here, but
well, I mean, you see the coach Dizzle there. He's a very good coach. I imagine he has a plan for why he did that, but at the same time, yeah, it is a little dangerous to be doing that. And had he not even gotten that timeout and they lost that round, you wouldn't have a timeout anymore.
Nope.
Because that you only get 1 per map. So
we'd be on map 2.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll see if they can save it. Garage going to be coming out again. So Lobby, the only thing that's lost. So that was their 3rd bomb site. So you can't feel too good as Fnatic only winning against the 3rd bomb site of the team. Because guess what? They're just going to rotate back now to Garage, their primary.
The only thing I will say for Fnatic there is that their roam clear got exponentially better in comparison to the last couple of rounds.
Some of that was Virtue staying alive a bit longer as well, not getting picked off. And then, like you said, the shot coming out early from Laxing, giving him away, was just... Yeah, it was much better roam clear, and that's something we saw Reciprocity even struggling with on this map.
Well, the other thing that I also said in that round was that Fnatic were ready to execute with a minute remaining.
Yeah.
Time management as well for Fnatic on that attack was much better. So there are some bright sides with that round, but you're right. Tertiary bomb site, not the best one they could have come away with, but you got to win them all now to just push up to overtime.
Absolutely have to, yeah. And I think some of that time management was just having more people alive, like Skies potentially being downed, or at least weakened, put him in a position where that was basically 5v4. Their ability to pick off 2 more, that gives you a time advantage, right? The more manpower advantage you have, that translates into time you can use because there's less pressure against you. And I mean, that is a roam clear, right? If everyone's dead, no one can roam, so.
It's one way to do it. You can see Magnet, a little hesitation coming out of spawn, and I guess that's Retro instilling a little bit of fear into the minds of Fnatic, awaiting for those dangerous and possibly game-defining and tournament-defining peaks. It's in Reciprocity's wheelhouse as well to try and take some aggression and set the tone of every round very early. So good caution exercise there by Fnatic coming out of spawns, and no peaks coming out from Reciprocities. It's just 1 man with an ACOG right now, which is Retro, who I imagine is up on top of his bookshelves again inside of the office.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good position.
Yep, there he is.
I mean, no reason not to be there, because with that, you have so many bullets, you can suppress them for so long. You saw the doorway as well, becomes a death trap, and he's inviting friends to come play with him as well. So this is, yeah, you don't want to fight this office. You really need to take from the white van side and do some pressure from above. But a nice kill by Virtue. This is him finally starting to kind of wake up, and it is working out. That is Laxing, who had played downstairs so well before, shut down early.
That's your back pressure alleviated from Archives. So Reciprocity have lost a key man and holding out for this Lockers push, but Mark is losing his mirrors as well as the door will get ripped open by Lusty, who's carrying Diffuser, and that's gotta be an indicator that Fnatic want to go for a back push, considering that the smokes, both smoke operators and Lusty and Rizraz are in the back, and they've got Diffuser in hand. And it's a 3-man stack now as Virtue will join Aces as the 4th. All 5 members of Fnatic will join in, but Mark will trade out Lusty. There go the smokes and the man carrying the Diffuser. Foxay will shred through Rizraz. A trade out from Virtues. He tries to push through and keep the aggression going, but Skies will shut down Magnet on a flank above, and now it's down to Virtue and Aces to keep map number 1 alive.
Fortunately, too slow of a push here. They're getting punished, but Aces still has some health left to make this work. 2v2, but huge advantage going over to the defenders right now, and they also have goo mines to potentially finish off Aces, but Virtue still getting those kills.
What a play by Virtue, carrying the Diffuser as well. A flank from Foxay, stuck on the rotation hole, and Virtue, the lone man on a mission right now for Fnatic to keep them in it, and this is Virtue waking up. This is more what we anticipated seeing out of Virtue. Just incredible, aggressive, clean surgical plays, entering and cutting through Reciprocity's extremely talented roam game like a hot knife through butter.
I gotta say, he showed up about 8 rounds too late, but you know what? He's still here. They're still there. They could bring this to overtime because we're not playing on the normal best or 1 rules of Pro League where there's just a tie at the end. They can take it to overtime, but they have to take it to overtime to win, and that's the advantage that Reciprocity have. They only have to win 1 round to just close this out, as long as they do it before Fnatic can win 2 more. Which is, I gotta say, very likely, especially if they can shut down Virtue. They have the goo mines to at least slow down the Ashe. They did a really good job of denying the push from the cafeteria side, but then once they started getting flanked and an actual pinch came out, you saw the great plays of pushing into that small office and actually taking it. That was the surprise there, the fact that they managed to take the small office because they were so focused on all the different angles they had to fight. So that was, I think, a very good improvisation towards the end of that round where they're like, you know what, we've just got to push like this. What's the best way to do it? Hit them from both sides because we're getting stalled out on cafeteria.
Surviving a tidal wave of pressure coming towards them are Fnatic right now. Weathering the storm, currently only down 6-4 now as they had their backs against the wall at a 6-2 scoreline just moments ago. Same operator lineup coming out for Reciprocity, and it was a beautiful play by Virtue going prone up against those kill holes in the bottom of the office wall and spotting out Skies on the smoke, trying to rotate beyond Black Car to give them the 2v1 advantage.
What's funny is they're still not bringing anything to take out the garage door. They're still forcing themselves into the same position of attack. And that's a problem because, yeah, it worked last round. And the last round that Fnatic had was the predictability of Reciprocity because they were set up in the same positions they were playing before. But now that works against Fnatic because Fnatic still have nothing to open that garage door. And any kind of surprise attack from behind is now going to be completely read into. And Reciprocity can adjust so they're not predicted this time, especially Laxing, so he can live a little bit longer. I honestly see this round going against Fnatic.
It's tough because you want to go in and get that immediate entry. You need that soft destruction to start your entire push, and it's going to be Magnet repelled outside, and it looks like that was Skies peeking the kill holes in the floor. He'll do it again. Coming dangerously close to entering into a gun battle against an ACOG with an SMG-11 on a vertical plane on a very awkward angle, but the wall will get opened up by Lusty. At least panel 3 will. Right side open, left side yet to be determined. Still has 1 exothermic charge remaining as all the bandit batteries have been cleared, and Laxing is nowhere near the wall to continue tricking.
I guess the interesting part is they did bring double hard breachers this time, so they were set up at least to open the wall if they could get the batteries down, which surprisingly they did in the first minute and a half. So this is pretty good actually for Fnatic to be able to pull this off. But Laxing actually playing very far offside with Fox helping him. This is going to be down to timing. If they can get to the right spot at the right time, it's going to be quite a few easy kills onto Fnatic, especially even a jump out of the window could come out here from Fox if he's feeling a little bit desperate towards the end of the round to go for a play from behind if they're setting up for plant behind White Van.
This is incredibly dangerous here for Fnatic because you have Laxing and Fox out on the roam. Laxing has made his way to his favorite spot on console underneath that default camera in Visa, and Fox has made it to the top floor. The man who was flank holding CEO, who I believe was Magnet, has gotten off the rappel, so it's free roaming ability for Fox A top floor and for Laxing to make his way through, but it'll be Mark starting things off with a Nitro Cell onto Magnet. Again, those floorboards proving to be lethal, but not for the side intended. Magnet will fall, the frags off the board, and you can see the stacking of Reciprocity in the back. So looking to play this deep away and use their utility to stall out the plant more than anything. And the flank coming from above now as Laxing makes his way down spiral stairs, has two Fnatic attackers pushing down spiral on his backside. One holding flank, one progressing through the stairwell. But here comes Laxing, ripping straight through, has the audio cues, and Rizraz is ready for it. Laxing will fall, leveling man count at a 4v4. 2 men on the back push for Fnatic, 2 on the front push, but no time remaining, 15 seconds, and they need to commit. Virtue will rip through Retro with a headshot, and they both go flying through the office hallway. Rizraz with another one, down to a 2v4 for Skies and Fox A to work out of, but they down the man with the diffuser and get 2 kills of their own. They have to get the plant off. Ace is putting it down, a 1v1 for cover between Virtue and Fox A. Vaulting in behind, but Virtue with the cover from the kitchen. The comeback of a lifetime possibly for Fnatic, 1 round away from sending us to overtime.
This is definitely working out for them, far more than it should be. Just, I mean, a lot of that came down to Laxing losing his fight, for example. Had he won that gunfight, he would have had all the pressure on them from behind. With only 15 seconds left to go for the plant, I can almost guarantee they would have lost the round right there the moment Laxing would have got that kill, or even just stalled it out. Had he not even gotten a kill, but just continued pressure on them, that just the timing, and it is always a bit of a bummer when one death like that can really mean the difference, but it was a fantastic attempt on the flank by Fox and Laxing. But again, like I said, the timing is everything for that kind of flank. Fox being too far off to stop the defuse plant really cost him because he had to push into such an open situation that it was a pretty easy kill when they were watching it, which is exactly what they were doing.
Well, to stave off the comeback, Reciprocity elect to go top floor on the final round of regulation on map number 1 on console between these two teams.
Well, so far Reciprocity has not lost this bomb site, so.
Virtue now leading the way with 13 kills. I believe he had 4 heading into the half, if I'm not mistaken. So he's definitely been warming up on the Ashe side of things.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of Joystick's early days on Empire. But this is Fnatic on the comeback. 3 rounds straight so far after losing 4 in a row. And now they have to complete the 4 in a row comeback of their own to send us into overtime. Should Reciprocity come away victorious on this round, they will still take map number 1, but they've had multiple chances to do so. Ace is bringing the Hibana tells me that Fnatic are ready to continue their admin pushes and take from the west side to the east. It's going to be a tough road here for Reciprocity if that pressure coming in from Virtue pushing straight through with no cares is going to continue on.
Yeah, and you saw this drone setup as well to be able to cover those Visa stairs. They're probably going to get set up again to put pressure from the Visa stairs on their way up to try and play it for Projector as they take the admin control. So if the admin control could be stalled out by Reciprocity, or they can be set up to pounce the moment the execute attempts to go down, it can work out well for Reciprocity. But if they start losing manpower early on through some early picks that say Virtue gets catching someone off position or on a rotate, that could really bring advantage to Reciprocity side, or for Fnatic side, and Virtue's got to be in the zone now. You know, the fact that he's able to bring all those killbacks, the rounds going in their favor. When an Ashe player is in that aggressive zone, you really need to shut them down early in the round because that momentum carries, and Magnet getting a nice early kill like that on the smoke with a grenade, that is definitely going to work in their favor. Like I said, those early kills really mattering for, especially now, Connector's going to be a lot safer.
Magnet just jumping straight in through holding. Laxing will trade out Lusty, but they have complete almost site control now. A battle back and forth. Rizraz with that out. Immediate trades back and forth. Leave it in a 2v3 for Reciprocity to work their way out of. Laxing and Fox A. Fox has the downstairs control with the plant being attempted inside of A-bomb. I don't think they're aware of this. He's going to nitro the intended wrong person. It won't even land. He's up on top of the desk. Still able to find the headshot, though, as Virtue will fall down to a 2v2. Magnet and Ace is back off and try and cover the plant from inside the closet. Laxing making a quick rotation into A, and Fox A trying to provide the calls, but Magnet will rip right through, and this looks like it's going to be headed to overtime, barring an incredible 1v2 clutch and defuse from Fox A as he makes his way up spiral, holding 1 on connector, 1 by bathroom door, separated in a crossfire. There's not a lot to be done here for Fox A. With the UMP in hand, he'll be shredded from both sides, and that'll be a timeout for Reciprocity as they lose 4 straight, and we head to overtime on map number 1.
That was definitely a great take there. It was just super fast execution. I love the fact that once they killed Retro, they knew Connector was clear because the smoke is the one who holds off that projector the entire time. You get a kill like that from a grenade on there, the fact that he just completely doubled down on it, pushed right in through projector, took Connector, they set up the crossfires. They almost shot each other in the head trying to take the bathroom, but they took the bathroom out as well. Pretty much at that point, forced it to be a retake situation. Fox, unfortunately, C4ing the wrong person as well. Had he got that C4 off, might have given them a bit more play, but the fact that Fox was trapped downstairs for the most part, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but kind of cost them the round because they lost too many people too fast upstairs and Laxing wasn't able to get the kill he needed. You said Fox was trying to call out the information for him, but you saw how slow that was because he was trying to get in positions to do that. As he was doing that, Laxing was pushing. The coordination wasn't there fast enough. And just from a grenade to an execute, very well done by Fnatic, just completely playing the momentum that they have. But now we go into overtime. This is when momentum can shift, especially with a timeout coming out from Reciprocity. We can see this go either way. You see a bit more concern on their faces. They're not looking like they're having as good of a time now. Bringing out the hand warmers, trying to get back to where they were. Hopefully they don't let that emotion get to them because this is really important that they win their map.
There's a big point to make that this is Reciprocity's map, and it's Fnatic storming back to keep themselves alive in this. Next map up will be Clubhouse, and should we need it, we'll head to Villa as the decider between these two in our first matchup of the day on the B stream.
It's looking very much like we're going to see 3 maps, the way these two are playing.
Back and forth nature. It was a 4-2 split in favor of Reciprocity, but Fnatic respond with a 4-2 of their own, and we're going to get back underway for overtime. A clarification again for the rules of overtime, because we haven't seen it in a little while in Pro League. It is best of 3 rounds in overtime. You swap sides every single round, and it is a coin flip right now to decide who heads to which side to start things off.
The way things have been going, that coin flip really could decide the winner in this, and just because they have been so back and forth, but a lot of it comes down to attack surprisingly doing very well. I mean,
that's a new thing for Consulate.
Absolutely, and I think it just comes down to just, you know, in terms of the attackers, managing to read into some of the static plays on defense and executing on those. Once they have the good intel, like you mentioned with Reciprocity, where they set up for it, we're seeing some of the same thing out of Fnatic. Once they get a good idea where the actual positioning is, they're able to win a lot more of the fights. But they've also gotten some good lucky early kills from players like Virtue on the entry that have been working out in terms of having the manpower advantage to do that.
That is very unlucky. Laxing hit Retro in the foot with one of his goo mines, and he lost 5 HP for it.
Well, that is probably going to cost them the round.
You see that little tick right there.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Unlucky for him. But we head into overtime, and Fnatic are granted the attacking side for the majority of the overtime rounds. 2 out of a possible 3 if necessary. And it's attack right now, currently up 8-4 in the split.
Yeah, we see both teams take 4 attack rounds, lose 2. But yeah, it is definitely could be the back and forth again. We could see Fnatic take this attack round, Reciprocity take the next one, and then
who knows?
At that point, it could be Fnatic to finish things off because they get on that attack for the last side.
And you got to think how huge that would be for Fnatic to be on the precipice of an early and kind of demoralizing loss on Consulate, even though it's not your map, to then be within 1 round of taking away Reciprocity's map, going into your own map of Clubhouse, possibly not even requiring Villa.
I don't know. I mean, I could see it going just as back and forth as this for Reciprocity. I mean, Fnatic's map as well. Just because it's not like Reciprocity are bad at Clubhouse either.
No, we saw them win 7-5 against EG during the regular season.
That's no easy match either. I don't think EG stands for easy game. So we're hearing a bit of excitement, I think, come out of some of the Latin American teams right now. So the other stream must be getting a bit hype as well. I imagine they're getting a little tense between the 2 Latin American
teams. Very condensed in this staging area for group stage. We got
Latin Americans are very vocal.
Yes.
So nice drone placement there. Unfortunately lost the drone, but did get the spot. Again, though, we're seeing so many times where we're not seeing a drone followed by an attacker, and some of that is actually working out for attack in that they're not dying early. But we're also seeing a lot less fluidity sometimes on the roams, where they're not taking advantage of that. They're not really rotating as much as we would expect them to. And Fox really committing to this pulse play yet again, despite it not working out every round.
Well, he'll hop off the cardiac sensor, and he'll be slowly moving his way up spiral stairs, and he's got a flank hold. I believe that's Magnet down by Circle Desk. Tough position to be in for Foxay as he keeps bouncing back and forth. It looks like Magnet will drone out Foxay. I think he spotted the drone. I think he's pre-aiming this. He wants to take this gunfight, but no, he turns away at the last second. Laxing will trade out Lusty, but Foxay will fall at the hands of the C8. There's another man downstairs. It is Laxing trying to turn the corner, cooking a frag grenade, and that'll just miss. Retro will take a shot to the shoulder for his troubles as well, but they rushed in and grabbed complete A-bomb control. They're waiting for Mark to peek out of the bathroom, and Rizraz will shut down Retro. Virtue with another one. Sky's trying to bust through the storm of smoke. Magnet taking a little bit of damage from the Evil Eye as well, and it's Sky's alone on the objective, so he's got to wait for Laxing to retake up these Visa stairs. Doesn't look like Aces is ready for this as he's holding inside of A-bomb. He's going to completely expose. No, sorry, he's inside of Connector. Skies makes his way in as well, moving through B-bomb. Laxing will shred through on the flank. He was actually sitting inside of A-bomb, blending into the wall. The camouflage working out. He downs one. Magnet trying to rush through with 5 seconds left, and in the goo mine, the MVP of the round from the grave. Laxing will save it for Reciprocity, as again it was a storming of the gulag for Fnatic into the projector room, but unable to convert this time around.
Laxing with the, he is like, you can kill me, but you can't take my goo mines away. And I mean, essentially he did it, you know, just off of getting enough damage to set up that goo mine kill as well. That is the White Legion is just, he's savage on the inside.
Did you see Aces? Like, did he look like he was in A-bomb, or did he look like he was on the other side of the wall and connected?
Yeah.
That camouflage, like that uniform he's got on.
Yeah.
I was completely bamboozled. I thought he was in Connector with Skies.
I've already heard some concern about that camouflage. It's definitely working pretty well.
It looked like he was the wall. I thought it was just us seeing the
human wallpaper.
I thought it was just seeing the X-ray from the other side of Connector, but not. He was just straight up sitting there in the corner in A.
It definitely works for that projector room area too as well.
Yeah.
Look at that, Fox, Laxing, and Skies all with double digits. Virtue and Magnet as well, but the number of kills alone is definitely not enough to bring them to more of a point advantage.
You also see, even though Retro and Mark aren't really doing a whole lot in the kills department, I think 5 apiece right now, they have a lot of assists.
Those are both the two support players.
Yeah, which means they're also contributing in the gunfights. They're doing a lot of damage. Typically, when you see some support players on other teams where you have a very frag-heavy lineup at the top, you'll see a lot of guys with no assists, or maybe 1 assist throughout the course of the game.
I gotta say, though, I wish the assist system didn't give you an assist unless you've done like a minimum amount of damage.
Yeah.
Just because like you can get the slightest amount of damage on someone, you get an assist for the kill. But you know,
Twitch used to zap people for every assist.
I'm gonna zap all 5 players, use up all 5 tasers, and I'm gonna get 5 assists.
There you go.
The assist ace.
That doesn't really happen in pro. So it's good to see that at least the support players are also jumping in the fray as well.
Yeah. Well, it's the important thing for Fnatic is that their fragger is showing up.
Yes.
Virtue has definitely made an impact on this, and unfortunately for them, now they're back on defense. So it's now pretty much on Magnet. It seems like Virtue shows up on attack, Magnet shows up on defense, and that was enough to keep them in the game. But to be fair, their defense was just not really doing a ton. And Lusty, unfortunately, made a lot of what were going to be big plays just not working out. This is not against EG where you could just jump out and get all those plays off. So it's definitely, I don't know. Lusty seems to be taking a lot of risks unnecessarily.
Precarious position for him as well, as he was crossing right in front of that Visa doorway where I believe it was Foxay on a rotation out. And drones abound will enter in through the main lobby and possibly being caught out by these mute jammers on elevated positions downstairs. Ooh. And there goes one right at the spiral door entrance. The wooden barricade not going to provide much resistance, as Foxay will utilize at least a magazine to get rid of it. But now it's Magnet with his FO12 stuck inside a bathroom with nowhere to go. No one holding his yellow stairs currently, as he had the freedom to rotate, but it looks like Skies is droning himself in to get in that position once again. And as long as he doesn't hop on a drone at the worst possible time in the entire world, then he should be able to hold Magnet inside the bathroom this time.
What's interesting to me too is Laxing used to spend a lot of time on this map attacking towards the other side of the bathroom windows, the windows that face the hallway towards the bathroom. And he's not been doing that. And that is something I think that would pinch Magnet out a bit better, put some pressure on him, because then he can't rotate freely out of that hole. He just hasn't been doing that. They've been playing a very different strategy, but he's still playing Thatcher either way. Unfortunately, Mark just can't find any angles here, so he's going to get slowed down, but they're at least doing the usual job of opening everything up. They need to force Magnet to drop earlier, though, because, again, it's 2 minutes in, and he's still able to just chill in the bathroom, despite taking about 50 HP in damage.
They're coalescing him around him right now as Foxay is going to slowly push in through the front door, and Retro has made his way down Spiral, heading towards the Spiral doorway. That door is barricaded off, so it would be long for Magnet to stretch in there, and the plant is being attempted now by Mark in a 5v5 situation. No one's stopping it. A second left, and Nitro will fly error and not connect. The plant gets down. A 5v5 post-plant situation. Mark will grab one onto Rizraz. The asphyxiating bolt lands at the birth of those breach holes, and now a 4v5 for Fnatic to keep themselves alive. Foxy rip through one with Virtue on a trade from behind White as they both go flying in towards that diffuser and try and establish some control, but Sky is another victim in his hands. They got the top control from above. Virtue lands one, but he's last alive, and Retro will clean it up. Team Reciprocity will take Consulate by a scoreline of 8-6 in a 5v5 post-plan of the last round.
So these